In this lesson, I'll show you two examples on how to write formulas for ionic compounds. The first question reads, write the formula for the ionic compound that forms between aluminum and oxygen. I have three simple steps that you can use to do this. In step number 1, we have to write the symbol for the metal cation and its charge, followed by the symbol for the nonmetal anion and its charge. Now if that's confusing to you, aluminum is the metal here. So I'll write down the symbol for aluminum, and we should know that metals form cations, meaning that they are positive ions. Take a look at the chart here. Aluminum is in this third major group, and it has the charge 3+. So we're going to write down 3+, and the nonmetal here is oxygen. Nonmetals will typically become ions that are negative. That's called an anion, and the charge for oxygen is 2-. Step number 1 is accomplished. In step number 2, they want us to adjust the subscript on each cation and anion to balance the overall charge. So what you do here is you take this charge and you crisscross, where you end up with aluminum 2, and you don't need to write down whether it's plus or minus. So write down the 2, and then this 3 will go to the O. And in step 3, they want us to check the sum of the charge of the cations equal to the sum of the charge of the anions. What that means, and this step is optional, is that you take this number 2 and multiply it to the positive 3. We end up with positive 6. You take this 3 and you multiply it to the negative 2. This gives us negative 6. If when you add these two numbers you end up with 0, you've done it correctly. So 6 minus 6 is equal to 0. Let's move on to question 2. Write the formula for the compound formed between potassium, which is the metal, it's going to form a cation, and sulfur, the nonmetal, which will form the anion. First, the symbol for potassium is K, and the symbol for sulfur is S. According to this table here, potassium is found in this first group, so it's always +1. And sulfur is found in this group, 2-. We do a crisscross, where we have potassium, 2, sulfur, and you don't need to write that 1. The name of this ionic compound is called potassium sulfide, and the name of this one is called aluminum oxide. And there you have it. That is how to write formulas for ionic compounds.